Welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to look at grade 12 examination question which came in 2019, paper 1, and it was question 10B. And in this question, I'm going to show you how you can solve such a question in an exam. So watch this video up to the end, as I'm going to share with you strategies or steps you need to follow in solving questions like this one in an exam. Okay, so the question was as follows. The diagram below shows a sector A or B. Arc AB subtends an angle of 21 degrees at the center of O. Okay, so the question is, given that the area of the sector is 14.85 centimeters squared, calculate the radius, take pi to be 22/7. So this was the question. Okay, and we are told to use the pi, which is 22/7. So first of all, we need to take note of certain things, or certain things that will help us to find the answer correctly on this question. So the first one is, we need to know that there is a formula to find the area of the circle. So when you are calculating the area of the circle, we use the formula, which is area is equal to pi multiplied by radius squared. Okay, so that is the formula for the area of the circle. And the other thing you need to take note of is a complete circle has 360 degrees. So a complete circle has a angle of 360 degrees. That is the complete circle. So now here we are given a sector of the circle with 21 degrees, and we asked to calculate the radius. Okay, so these 2 points you need to take care of. You need to take note of them because they are very important. They will help us to find the radius of this sector of the circle. Okay, now let's go to solving this question. So I'm going to write on top there solution. Okay, once I've done that, the first thing, I'm going to write the fraction of this sector. Okay, as you know that this sector is gotten from a complete circle, and they have just given us a fraction of the circle. So I'm going to come up with a fraction that stands for this sector. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 21 degrees, the angle given, out of 300 degrees of a complete circle. So I'm going to write over 360 degrees of a complete circle, because the 21 degrees is coming from a complete circle. So I'm going to write it as a fraction, okay, like that, 21 degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to now write the formula, which is pi multiplied by radius squared. So I'm going to say times pi multiplied by radius squared. Okay, times pi radius squared. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write equal to, then I'm going to write 21 over 360 degrees, 21 degrees over 360 degrees. Then I'm going to multiply by, we are told the pi to use is 22/7, so I'm going to write 22/7. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by radius. Now remember, we are not given radius, and it's the one we are calculating for, so I'm going to write multiply by r squared, which will be, now this is the formula. Now when you look at the question, given that the area of the sector is 14.85 centimeter squared, that means we are given the area. So we are going to say when you multiply the whole of that, we should give us the answer, which is 14.85 centimeter squared. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, if you have a calculator, you can punch these numbers in your calculator and they'll give you the answer. But if you don't have a calculator, you need to do like the way I'm showing you. Okay, in case they say show your work, this is what you do. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to simplify these fractions. We need to simplify these fractions, so we need to look for numbers that are going into numbers which are diagonal, the numerator of another fraction to the denominator of another fraction. So as you can see, we have got 21 there, which has got the same factor, which is 7. So 21 into 7 into 21 to go 3 times, 7 into 7 it will go 1 time, so it's as good as we just cancel 7 out. So we can also write 1 down here, or we can just cancel out 7. Okay, once we've done that, then we can also say 360 degrees as a common factor, which is 2 with 22. So we're going to divide 360 degrees by 2, which will be 360 divided by 2 give us 180, and 22 divided by 2 give us 11. Okay, now we can still again check whether there is a number which is down that has the common factor with the number which is on top. Now as you can see, 11 and 180, they don't have a common factor, which is a whole number. And when you look at 3 and 180, they have got a common factor. So 3 itself is a common factor of 3 and 180. So we're going to say 3 into 3 will give us 1. 3 into 180 will give us 60. Okay, now we have simplified the expressions. As you can see, 60 and the numbers on top, they do not have the common factor, so that means all the numbers are simplified. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to write down what is remaining. Now as you can see, there we have 1, which is 1 over 60, and we have got 11 there, so we can multiply 1 by 11, which will give us 11, and then 11 will be over 60, because even if we multiply 60 by the 1 which came from 7 there, will give us 60, so it will be 60 down here. So we are going to have a fraction which is 11 over 60, okay, which will be multiplied by the radius squared, then which will be equal to the total area, which is 14.85 centimeters squared. Okay, if you have got questions, you can ask, but if you haven't any question, you can follow us up to the end. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is I want to remain with the R on the one side of the equal sign. That means I need to get rid of 11 over 60. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to look for a multiplicative inverse of 11 over 60. If you don't know what a multiplicative inverse is, you can check on our videos. We have got a video where we talked about multiplicative inverse and additive inverse. So a multiplicative inverse is a number that you multiply by a certain number in order to get the answer, which is 1. Okay, so a multiplicative inverse is a number that gives you a product which is 1 when you multiply it by another number. So the multiplicative inverse of 11 over 60 is 60 over 11. Okay, so what I've done, I've just gotten a fraction. I've just turned this fraction, which is 11 over 60, upside down, where I've taken the denominator to become a numerator and the numerator becomes a denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 60 over 11. Okay, that is now 60 over 11 is a multiplicative inverse of 11 over 60. Okay, whatever I've done on the left side of the equal sign should also be done on the right side of the equal sign. That means also on the right side of the equal sign, I'm going to multiply by 60 over 11. So I'm going to say times 60 over 11. Okay, so I've multiplied both sides by the multiplicative inverse of 11 over 60. Okay, once I've done that, now we can see that now when we come to the left side of the equal sign, you see that we have got 60 over 11 multiplied by 11 over 60. So this is simply telling us that these numbers can cancel each other out. So we can cancel 11 down here and 11 on top there. We can cancel 60 on top and 60 down here. That means we are going to remain with the r squared. Okay, we're going to remain with the r squared on the left side of the equal sign. So we're going to remain with r squared, which will be equal to, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 14.85 centimeters squared multiplied by 60, which will give me 891 centimeters squared, which will be over 11. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 891 centimeters squared by 11. So before I do that, I'm going to write r squared, which will be r squared is equal to, when I divide 891 centimeters squared by 11, when I divide 891 centimeters squared by 11, it's going to give me 81 centimeters squared. Okay, now once I've done this, then the next thing I'm going to do is I want to find the radius of this sector of the circle. So that means I need to find the value of r, not r squared. That means I need to remain with r on the left side of the equal sign. So for me to remain with r, what I need to do is I need to square r. Okay, I need to find the square root of r. I need to find the square root of r. If I do that on the left side of the equal sign, that means I also need to find the square root of 81 centimeter squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the square root of r squared, and also I'm going to find the square root of 81 centimeter squared. So the square root of r squared is r, which will be r is equal to, then the square root of 81 centimeter squared will be 9 centimeter. Okay, so 9 centimeter is the length of the radius of this sector of the given circle. Okay, so basically this is how you find the radius of the sector of the circle. So if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. It has been easy learning Z mathematics. The future is bright. See you in the next video, and God bless you.